The following program is brought to you by our Patreon supporters. You can request podcast topics, enjoy exclusive RPG and video content, and more. Even just $1 a month gets you gameplay episodes a week early and makes you officially cool. Just like our Trash Elite, a guy from Ohio, and Rob, Thomas, Austin Jr., Drake, Starstorm, Destrucity, KTL, Passion Killer, 711, Kitty, Holbrook, and DG. Greetings and salutations. It is I, Eric J. Chucky, joined as always by The Boy.
Hi.
This is the Two Nerds Podcast. Today we are stealing mail from the All Elite Arcade Podcast.
And covering some genuine mail of our own.
Yes, before we get into that, we should discuss what's crumpin'. I don't remember when last we crumped. But that's what we're here to talk about. So what's been crumping with you, my guy?
I bought Diablo 2.
Yes.
Resurrected because it was on sale for a price that seemed reasonable. And then I fell down the nostalgia hole. The remake is a remake. It is, some minor changes, some visual improvements, but the core gameplay loop is the same, and all the voice acting is the same. So, it unlocked pure nostalgia beam in my brain, and it's been pretty killer.
I'm glad to hear that, my friend. I've been playing mostly just the Minecraft Copper update. There's something else I was doing. I'll get into that with our first question, but actually I don't. Oh, I finished Arcane finally.
Yeah, he actually kept watching the second season of Arcane. We never did an episode on it because it got depressing enough that we kind of stopped, and then he now has finished it.
Yes, a very brief review, because I doubt at this point we'll ever get to it. Maybe
I'm not going to watch it.
If the next League of Legends series comes out. There's a lot of good moments. In fact, the next couple of episodes were way more what I wanted from that show, but I didn't care for how it ended. I didn't hate it, I just didn't care for it. I would have gone a different way. And really, to be as spoiler light as possible, everything with the sphere wasn't good. Everything that happened because of the sphere, everything involved with it stuff, visually arresting. But plot-wise, just made things worse. And that's kind of like one of the big things that stopped us when we were watching.
The big sphere is what made me leave.
And there was a sphere, and
you will know the exact episode of the last one I watched if you watch it. When the big sphere shows up, and no, that won't be confusing. You'll know what I mean.
The bottle episode was pretty cool. That was because of the sphere, and I think it lent more to the world in the way that the episodes I liked did. But yeah, that's about it. I picked up Skyrim literally last night because my brain is desperate for a specific kind of experience, and only one studio, 1.5, makes that game. It's all Microsoft, I suppose. Yeah, so I thought I'd try Skyrim. It's vanilla remastered version. And yet, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to turn the speakers off. It doesn't usually bother us, but I just noticed I forgot. Maybe you can get rid of some background noise there. Ooh, there it goes. So, we've decided what was crumping. Let's get into our questions. First one comes from an actual Two Nerds experiencer.
Yeah, member of the trash pile.
Yes. Stops by the Discord, which you can always do. Arnold asks, when will you be doing another JOW series? That is Journey of Wrestling. What brought a lot of folks to the dance here, that and Violent Profiles. We both got kind of burnt out on it. We were using it as a competitive thing for the punishments, and I like that part. Obviously, we kept it going with the gauntlet, the refreshed gauntlet, which was another request from someone in the trash pile. And here it's back to stay.
Let it never be said that we're not reactive to what you say. Show up where we can see you talk, and
we'll at least consider it. Case in point, I bought myself a birthday present, a pro wrestling sim. I was thinking maybe we would do a series on that.
Because it's similar content to what brought a lot of you to the dance, and we are always happy to see you. We want to deliver the content you like, but if I'm being completely real, there was just never going to be a season of Journey of Wrestling I didn't win.
Yeah, competitive one, yeah. We had talked about just going back to cooperative, but I've been struggling with wrestling for about 1.5 years now. It seems like it might finally start to be getting better in AEW. Gonna gently knock on wood that the mic is not sitting on. So that was already hard for me. And just we've been keeping up with that for years. Eventually, you need a break. So we've been playing other games. But I don't know if we're going to do a pro wrestling sim series. I kind of hate that game. You wouldn't think, with as slightly different as it is compared to Journey of Wrestling, that it would be a big problem. But in its granularity, it doesn't feel like I have more control. It feels like everything is more complicated. And complication without control isn't good.
No, that is actually probably the most pure example of how to make a thing worse.
What it did to, however, is remind me why I like Journey of Wrestling so much. I am softly considering a solo series. We'll see what happens. And
if it was cooperative, I'd be absolutely up for it. It's just, I like my friend. I like telling stories with my friend. I don't like bullying him.
Yeah. I think if it hadn't been for the curveballs at the end of the last series, I might have had a chance. I was planning on being more ruthless in my booking, less.
And then you immediately got stomped.
I immediately got stomped by the system, not even by you. I mean, you were doing well, but that's not what ruined me. So that's that. That's question one. That's an actual question from an actual fan. We actually appreciate you.
Now to theft.
Back to theft. Clemente, or I believe Evil Uno suggested Clement or Clement, as he does speak French, asks, what was the first game that made you use a strategy guide? Don't call Clement dumb.
Well, it was me filling in with sounds, because I'm thinking, you go talk now, Mr. Sass.
That made me use a strategy guide is a good question. I remember having my parents buy me a couple of strategy guides in my youth, but it was for stuff like my Super Game Boy, where it was just like suggestions for stuff to do and neat tricks and stuff, not necessarily here's how you beat level 2. I also, as I famously talked about one of the episodes of Violent Profiles, had I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head, Nintendo Buyer's Guide, big catalog sort of magazine, and it had a lot of maps and tips and stuff like that. I didn't use it as a strategy guide. I was very little. This was like 86, 88 or something like that. But I just looked at it a lot. So, like, the content of a strategy guide was my jam long before I needed them specifically. I will hazard a guess that it was Final Fantasy VII. Because I don't think I ever would have figured out the puzzles to get Vincent, certainly not the first time around, without the help of that strategy guide. There may have been other stuff I looked up on GameFAQs, because that was a thing when I was young, but I don't remember anything as strong as Final Fantasy VII.
There were one-off things I may have looked up online, but genuinely the first... And there were some times where I would peruse a strategy guide for a game I had already kind of understood just to see what the info was. But I believe the first time that I genuinely needed and used a strategy guide was actually Mass Effect 2.
Yes, I remember that, yeah.
There's a very specific sequence of events you have to do not to kill anybody in the final mission, and I really wanted to not kill anyone in the final mission. And back then, there were these things that don't exist anymore called magazines. And we had a literal physical, I believe it was an IGN magazine with a step-by-step flowchart of how not to kill anybody on the last mission. And I followed that shit religiously.
A handy thing to look up for Dragon Age Veilguard as well. I will warn you folks about that. So our next question is from Caleb, who wrote into the All Elite Arcade podcast. Do you guys collect any third-party consoles or handhelds? That's an interesting question. I tried to transcribe this accurately without, hey, Chugs and Uno, I love your show, because they are not on our show. Instead, you get me, Evil Uno's evil twin, and, the boy. So third-party... what that means in a gaming context, as far as I've ever known, is that's for like software. That's for the games.
Well, Mad Catz would be a third-party controller.
Sure, but a third-party console is not a thing. There's a bootleg console.
Maybe that's what they mean.
Maybe. Oh, and they might just be talking also about like Tiger Electronic games from back in the late 80s, early
those
90s.
like all-in-one, like the joysticks that you see with
Sure.
like 4 million games.
Yeah. That's not technically what that means. I'm just clarifying for the listener because I'm a pedant sometimes. And I think it's a fun trivia fact. No is the answer.
I'm only vaguely guessing at what those might be, and also I don't really collect anything.
Yeah, I do collect stuff, but not really that. Yeah, no, it's just a soft. It's an easy no.
Yep, I don't. That's not really my bag. I'm not a collector of physical items.
B Nobody asks, did y'all partake in the Def Jam games back in the day? In that vein, if you could say one phrase before a match that everyone could hear, what would you say?
I played a little Def Jam Vendetta. Mm-hmm. You know what? Small correction. I do collect swords. I have a collection of swords from when I was a teenager, and I haven't got rid of them. I played a little Def Jam Vendetta, but like only a little, and not enough to really say I partook in the Def Jam games. You?
I played both. I feel like maybe there was a third one that wasn't as good. I played the two good ones, which I believe were Vendetta and Fight for New York. And I rented them and played them thoroughly when I rented them, but I think I only rented each once, maybe twice. I remember Danny Trejo being in one of them, and that was the highlight of my experience with the Def Jam games. They were all right. They weren't bad at all.
What I played of it was fun. As for the catchphrase thing, we used to have a catchphrase. We killed it.
Is that your catchphrase? We used to have a catchphrase. We killed it.
Could be.
I mean, that's pretty solid. I would probably say read Colt Regan, as that is.
It's just the straight up Jay Sherman.
Yeah, buy my book. Man, I used to say back when I was in my e-fetting days, especially the early ones, I had a lot more like, "Oh yeah, that's a good one-liner. That's a good catchphrase." I'm not really like that anymore. Do I have a catchphrase in real life?
You rotate them.
Yeah, can you give us one that's like not gonna get me canceled?
He doesn't just. That's not the vibe, guys. I need to clarify for my friend. He's not just out here letting that thang rang off stream. Trust me.
I wasn't speaking about the audience that I would be canceled by specifically. I need all the hits I can get. As a broad array of things I say that somebody might take offense to.
Greetings and salutations.
You know what? Gosh, I guess that should be because I do say it after we shout out all of our lovely, cool folks.
That derives from real life. He stole that shit from Heather's before I ever met him.
Yeah, I met a guy years ago. We were working at a store together, and he said it to me, and I was like, "Oh, Heather's," and he's like, "No, Star Trek," and I went, "Oh, okay." All right. Have you ever dominated a single-player game to the point that you got confident, but then played online against others and get squashed? That's from Terry, or if you prefer, and I do, Turi.
Back it up, Turi. Yeah, Tekken.
Yeah?
Yeah. I, in my local scene as a kid, was undefeated for many years. Even as an adult, longtime listeners will know it was an event the first time he managed to beat me at Tekken in one of our fighting game tournaments we used to do. Because we've been doing this podcast a long-ass time. And
I held ground with you when we played in arcades. Very early in our friendship was formative.
Yes, yeah. No one had done that before. But then I got online where people who actually know what fighting games are and all the terms and stuff are, and I got annihilated. Like, it just absolutely bodied, and I left, and I didn't go back.
I'm pretty decent at, like, Mortal Kombat, but I can't Street Fighter. I can't. It is a different environment because everything is super combos and hyper cancels and press 75 buttons in a row and you win the match. Nobody can do anything about it. That's called Mary's Gambit. No, I'm not. That Street Fighter's a great example. I'm sure there's other stuff, but like literally the most recent Street Fighter 6, I played through the single player campaign and I was like, well, I got this game. Might as well check out the online. No, it's not fun. I just get bodied. It's not my wheelhouse. Again, the last couple Mortal Kombat games, I go online, I play a few matches, I'm fine. It's just a different environment. And I think that's kind of why I prefer Mortal Kombat by and large, but there was a lot of fun stuff in the story mode of that Street Fighter. Okay, next question is from Dastiel. Have you raged during a video game? If so, how do you rage? Do you throw something or just quit?
Neither. Yes. It's the shortest answers we have there. I have raged during many a video game, most famously League of Legends. If you play League of Legends or know someone who plays League of Legends, there are helplines you can call. Get help. Get free. You don't have to be this person. You can be better. It is a demonic game. It brings out the absolute worst in me as a person. And it is not fun, but it is compelling.
I like the basic formula of League of Legends a lot, but the toxicity, I got too old for that during one of my last breaks from it. So now when I do play, it's like either ARAMs where nothing matters, or bot matches where even less matters, or team fight tactics where I'm not even sure if I'm having a good time.
What I did in League was just get really mean. Usually my teammates couldn't hear me unless I was playing with him, in which case I would be mean to all the other teammates, not him, but it would still bring the room down.
Unless he forgot who I was playing.
Yeah, sometimes that happened, I'm not going to lie.
There's also the mouse slappies. I feel like that's common for pretty much everybody.
Yeah. And the other thing I raged at is Souls games, and I react to that by becoming the meanest games journalist possible at school, so at the Souls game, until I get good, at which point I'm like, no, whatever, man, it's fine.
I think my worst one was Overwatch.
Yeah, Overwatch was genuinely concerning.
Well, because it was that, like, a perfect Skinner box for me. And often I felt like I had invested into it, so if I didn't get a return, sometimes literally money, but like if I didn't get some kind of return in the loot I wanted before the event ended, I would become a real creative swearer.
Yeah, I've heard new swear words around this man when he was playing Overwatch.
I'm not going to repeat any of them.
No, they were all really mean.
Yeah, it wasn't that they were like specifically targeted slurs or anything.
No, again, that's not really his vibe.
They were really my vibe.
They were specific targeted at the person he was talking to.
I'll give you a really soft example. I hope your children don't love you. That's a super soft example. Like
that would be the opener of like a 5-minute build, like a 5-minute like comedian sketch.
Yeah,
where he elaborates on the ways the children do not love them and never call.
Yeah, I just want them to feel the same disappointment I feel right now. Yeah, it's pretty awful. I don't play Overwatch anymore because the game sucks. Not for my self-improvement. I play Marvel Rivals now, and I'm nowhere near as upset.
No, me neither. Marvel Rivals doesn't make me rage anywhere near the same level of rage.
Really, what happens now is I kind of sigh, and I'm like, oh, right, I played when fucking children are awake, and just quit. Donnie, who I'm hoping is the Ninja Turtle, wrote in to Chugs and Uno. What's up?
I've decided it is.
Okay. Donatello the Ninja Turtle wrote into Chugs and Uno and asked, are you planning on getting back to Twitch streaming? This is more for me. You've never strammed a Twatch.
No, I'm not. I'm gonna leave that right where it is.
It's the past tense of stream Twitch.
It's absolutely not.
I think you'll find that it is.
I won't be finding anything of the sort. I'm not a streamer. The idea of trying to be that engaged and entertaining while I'm actively also trying to play a video game is daunting. I don't know how he did it.
I could theoretically go back. I don't remember where I fit it into my day. Genuinely, I don't remember. And it's not like I'm sitting out here back to back busy, but just respect for my fellow housemates and, doing my own thing. Working on projects, books, violent profiles, what have you. I don't remember how I had time to stream. I would like to, softly, but I definitely wouldn't make any, oh yeah, soon. That's not, If it happens, and you'll get the notification. You can sub to me on Twitch or go on the Discord. I'm sure I'll post there. It would be on Twitch. Twitch is not great for like financial stuff or discoverability, but it's better than YouTube's community. Whilst live streaming. You guys are great.
We're absolutely not streaming on Kick.
Well, I'm not that desperate. Turbo Kid, the main character from the film Turbo Kid, asks, have you played Earth Defense Force? No.
No. I've seen people play it, and I've watched a couple YouTubers do videos on it. It looks like a wacky good time.
I remember Total Biscuit was a pretty big fan of it.
Back in the day, yes.
Yeah. That's about all of my experience. I think we own one or more of them thanks to Game Pass's predecessor.
That makes sense.
But it's not, I don't know. That's not really my thing. Will has 2 questions. I believe Will tricked Chugs and Uno into answering these questions at the same time. We will do them separately, Will. Will asks.
Osprey.
I wanted this question to be audible, so I will not impersonate him. If you built an arcade, what games are mandatory to put in it?
Whatever games will drain the most quarters out of the people who go to the arcade. I build an arcade, I want to make money.
I feel like you get at least one like prize machine, probably like 3 technically, because that way you got people gambling. I'm trying to run a successful arcade here.
Weren't some of the early fighting games AIs designed in such a way that you basically couldn't beat them?
Oh yeah. A lot of games in general.
Some of those.
Definitely the classic beat 'em ups, the Ninja Turtles, the Simpsons, X-Men.
In terms of games I want for like me to have, the original Soul Calibur.
Sure, that'd be fun.
And DDR.
Yeah, people like a DDR. Yeah, I'd have tickets though, and I'd go to the dollar store and get like a bunch of crap. Exchange it. It's fun. Maybe I could rig up the arcade machines.
Get one PS5, make it 1 million tickets or something.
Yeah, why not? Thanks for asking that question, Will. Now, a completely new questioner, Will, asks, what is your favorite arcade?
I guess technically the arcade bar that's pretty near where we live.
Extant, yes. I miss the arcade of my youth, which was in Aladdin's Castle. It was a small chain. I don't know if I've ever been in one that was like, they get too big, and no, I don't want to be here. And they get too, I don't know, gimmicky. Like, I don't care about a Dave & Buster's,
I've been to a few Dave & Buster's in my time, and it's never great.
Yeah.
I've never partaken in the entertainments offered by one Charles Entertainment Cheese.
I did when I was really super little, but I really don't remember much about it. Vaguely Whack-A-Mole, and the pizza was okay. And animatronics. I do like animatronics, actually. But yeah, I think that's about it. If it has to be today, it's the one near us by default. And if it's of all time, I really like that Aladdin's Castle. We are supposed to get another arcade soon. Not even a barcade, just an arcade. You bet your sweet ass I will be checking that out. So, Shinji, who is sending emails instead of getting in the fucking robot, asks...
You don't get that joke, but I appreciate it.
I've been on the internet. I read a meme. I'm skibbity. Have you imported a video game?
Like, as in from another country?
Yeah.
Jesus, no, man. It's not... I'm not going to go to all that trouble for a video game.
I did. Believe it or not. Why don't you guess? Do you have a guess at what game I imported?
Probably a Final Fantasy.
That is what you would assume. And when do you think I might have imported this game?
Before... I mean, if it's after you met me, that's very surprising, because I do not recall that.
It was after I met you. It was... a couple of years ago, maybe just last year even, I bought my girlfriend a copy of the Famicom Labyrinth game.
Oh no, I do remember that. It was for a present. That's why I didn't.
Yeah, it wasn't for me. But I did do the importing. So now she is the proud owner, complete inbox with manual of a Famicom. Very late in the Famicom's life cycle, so it didn't get a lot of press and it didn't get released over here. But it's a cool little game. I recommend finding a way to play it.
I have found a way to play several games from overseas.
Yes, that was usually my recourse, or to borrow it from somebody else. I do remember when I was a little kid, to the point that it felt like a liminal dream until I found out it was real, that a friend of my brother's brought over some kind of converter that had the actual Super Mario Brothers 2 from Japan on it.
Oh.
Not the reskin of Doki Doki Panic, like the lost
real
levels, as we call it today. And he played it a little bit. I might have had my hands on the controller for a minute. But yeah, it felt like a fever dream until I got older and found out about all that crap and was like, oh, that was real. Wild.
Neat.
Let's see. Oh yeah, we got a little time left. Dylan asks, were browser games banned in your school, and what were your favorites?
So long-time listeners might have picked up that I didn't grow up in what you might call a metropolitan area. I don't know that the people in charge of the computer lab, such as it was in the school I grew up in, knew how to do that. And in terms of my favorite, I don't know, man. Like, there are many, like, classics in the genre. But I can't think of, like, a specific one that's standing out to me right now.
I didn't really... Well, look. Okay, if we treat these two questions as separate, what are your favorite browser game has got to be something like that Hexagon game, right?
Oh, this is not from my youth? Yeah, it's probably like Super Hex, or I guess I played Clicker Heroes on browser for a while. This is just games to keep my hands busy while I'm watching something.
I've enjoyed some, what do you call it? GeoGuessr. That's pretty fun.
GeoGuessr is fun. I would like to play more GeoGuessr, but I don't like playing against randoms for the same reason I don't like playing Tekken online.
Oh, my brother, we can drop a little money for a month subscription, and we can record it for the channel if you'd like. It might be something to do.
Might be something to do.
I didn't really, excuse me, I didn't really play browser games. You guys almost heard my real voice there for a second. I didn't really play browser games. Could you imagine? Man, what if I was that good and I've just been doing this as a voice the whole time?
It counts. That's just your regular voice. If you're this committed to the bit.
Yeah. I didn't really play them in high school. I was on Newgrounds a lot, but I was watching animations like Magical Trevor and crap and not playing games. They were some of the websites banned at my school, but it was not very good banning. They didn't do a good job. So every now and then I'd watch Newgrounds animation on the computer in my art teacher's office because she was cool. So yeah, thanks, Dylan. Thanks for writing into a show that I stole the question from. We got Mitch here. I think we got time for 2 more questions. Mitch asks, I know you aren't big sports game guys.
Thank you. Also true, yes.
Thank you, Mitch, for knowing that about us. But would you play a sports game on the channel? Actually, we have gotten this question before. I think Thomas Austin Jr., who is cool, has suggested something like Madden or something along those lines.
Well, the sport of professional wrestling is very popular on the channel. As far as, like, I don't know, a Madden, it'd have to be an older one. We'd have to try and find some way to play like an older NCAA or Madden, because I used to play those all the time when I was a kid.
I had an N64 college football game that I really liked. They've taken, or I'm stupid, but it feels like they've taken control away from me, the player.
That's why I would want to do an older one. Because like the older NCAA games from like the early, like the 2000s, and the Madden games from like the 2000s, those felt like I was playing them. Or the original NFL Blitz. That felt like I was playing it.
I do like Mutant Football League, or Mutant League Football, whatever it is now.
Modern football games do not, and basketball games too, modern sports games feel like they're made for toddlers.
They feel like a simulation that you're pushing the buttons on. It's sort of like the sports equivalent of a visual novel.
Like, it's just, I feel so very disconnected from what's happening, and I have so little control over what is being done that it doesn't feel like I'm actually playing the video game.
I would agree. I believe we actually did a podcast about this years ago. Feel free to dig through the backlog and find it. It was after our show got good, so... yeah, but, you know, we could play one on the channel. It'd probably be a one-off. I doubt it would go very far, but...
if it pops up and we have to become fucking football YouTubers...
I'm gonna have to learn about so many... I gotta learn about Taylor Swift's boyfriend, husband thing. I don't know if they're married. He got a big dick. I learned that.
She's very proud.
You should be.
Yeah.
Yeah, good
you should
for
be
you.
allowed to be proud of your significant other's excellent genitals.
I'm going to move on to the next question, which is from Omega Eraser.
Really? I assumed you would cut there. That was...
No, we got one last question. I said we could do two. Would you ever do a podcast where you list your top 50 games of all time? I'm sure you'd have different lists, but it would be fun to hear you go through them. What do you think? What do you think about Omega Eraser's suggestion there?
Haven't we done that like 4 fucking times?
No, actually. We've done movies. We've done influential games, but like in terms of actual favorite games, because there's a lot about games I love that has nothing to do with whether or not it's influenced who I am as a person. You know what I mean?
Yeah, some things are just fun to play.
Yeah, some things are just fun to play. It would be interesting. 50 is a lot.
I wouldn't fucking do 50. I'm going to keep it a stack with you people. That's not happening.
That's a lot. That'd be, I mean, maybe if we sat down and made that like a multi-part podcast like we do with our tier lists, that would be maybe something worth doing. But
like 10 is about where, like 25 at maximum, but even then...
10's going to be an hour podcast.
It's not, absolutely not.
Do you think just as like a teaser, as like an out, can you name like what softly is your favorite video game?
That's actually a really difficult question.
Yeah, I would agree, actually. I mean, it's got to be kind of like Final Fantasy VI for me, but...
I think I still buy, in terms of like total playtime, I think technically it's still going to be Dark Souls 3.
If it's by playtime, it might be Marvel Heroes for me.
Yeah, Marvel, or maybe Elden Ring.
Yeah.
But, I would have to... That would be an effort, like, an exercise in actual contemplation.
Well, there you have it. Thank you for writing into a different show, Omega Eraser and everybody before that individual. If you have any questions for the Two Nerds podcast, write to the AEW Games podcast.
Get them to answer it, and we'll steal it.
Or please, you go first, my friend. I talk all the time.
Put it on the YouTube comment section here. Go to the Discord. We're in there all the time. Ask us questions. We're right there.